I'm sorry I didn't post yesterday. I'm still trying to process what happened and what we learned. There was very little talking the morning after until Jacob finally spoke up. Do we need to open it again? And I admitted I wanted to, even if the thing was some sort of dream, some sort of powerful hallucination. We needed to know. But it was 2 p.m. before we actually stood in the door. The problem was, we weren't sure how we opened the door in the first place. We tried jiggling the handle again, pushing it, and just for the hell of it, we tried the sledgehammer. Once more, once again, there was absolutely no sound. Growing frustrated, I began to retrace my steps up to the door opening. I placed my finger in the bowl, traced the bumps along the inner side, and felt that familiar but more painful jab. By instinct, I yanked my hand back, a slight large drop of blood than last time dropping off the finger. The door flew open this time, and we hesitantly walked inside once more. Leaned over, straight in the couch cushions, was our mother, and our large leather chair. Beside her was a man who looked no older than 40. Short but neat gray hair, complementing the dark gray suit he wore. I stared for a moment before I spoke. Dad? At the sound of my voice, both their heads snapped up and smiles broke across their faces. Mom quickly came over to embrace Dad, standing with her folding the paper in his hand. She came close to Jacob, and I could smell the familiar scent of Old Spice on him. He hugged both of us tight. Your mother told me you'd be joining us. I just wish we got a little more notice, but that's okay. He smiled again, and Mom waved us into the kitchen. Opening the door to it, we were greeted with the scent of warm bread and roast. The kitchen was small but cozy. Mom's seating is at the round wooden table, an 80s white and red crisscross pattern tablecloth covering it. 2 candles burning away in the center. Jacob spoke, his voice quiet and shaky. Mom, Dad, I don't understand. How are we here? You guys aren't. But like a rush, we found ourselves standing back in front of the oak door. Jacob's breathing became harder. He leaped toward the door and began shaking the handle hard. How? How the fuck do we go back? I felt his anger, but the answer began to dawn on me already. Jacob, it's blood. He stopped shaking the handle and turned to me. Blood? What blood? What do you mean? I showed him the bowl and explained that what happened the last 2 times. He nodded his head and clearly disturbed but understanding. Any blood? Does it have to be yours? I don't know. Should we wait till... But he cut me off mid-sentence. There's only one way to know. He reached his hand into the bowl. Almost instantly he screamed, recoiling. Several of his fingers were bleeding, and the bowl drank it up instantly. Without near as much as hesitation, entered once more. This time it was back into the kitchen. Our parents were already eating. Mom looked at us. Oh, sorry. We had to start without you. We weren't sure where you went. Jacob piped up. No problem. What are we having? Mom served generous helpings of roast bread that smelled like heaven, and the steaming green beans, a perfect throwback to our childhood. This is what we will have every Sunday evening, the only time that we all had the day off together. Jacob managed to actually eat, but I couldn't bring myself to. Partly because your guys' warnings made me a little paranoid, but largely because I was still trying to understand what the hell was going on. Mom, I don't understand. How are you here? Her chewing slowed and she glanced up. What do you mean, honey? Mom, you've been dead for over a year. Dad, you died close to 10 years ago. We buried you guys. We had your funerals. My hands began to shake and my voice broke. You're dead. What's there to understand, Elliot? Our father said, we're here now. That's all that really matters. Mom reached over and gently placed her hand on my cheek. We're here, and we're not going anywhere, Elliot. Now eat your dinner before it gets cold. I still couldn't bring myself to eat a bite. Quick as a snap, we were back outside the door. Before we knew what happened, Jacob's hands were still positioned like he was holding his fork and knife. He stared at the wall for a few moments before reaching for the bowl again. I stopped him, offering to use my hand again. I knew something was off about this, that none of this could possibly be real, but I needed to see them again. Jacob didn't have as many memories with them as I did, and I couldn't see that longing in him to finally make some. We must have gone back through the door 7 times or more. Every time the wound's getting deeper. Every time the bullet taking more blood, leaving deeper cuts and gashes. It all seemed worth it to have those moments of bliss again. To have our family back together, even just for a few moments. We noticed every time we were brought back, our wounds had scattered over. Jacob wanted to keep going, but I convinced him to hold off at least till tomorrow. I would give as much blood as I could to have my family back, but I can't let myself get too absorbed. I know we'll keep going back, regardless of my reluctance. I have an odd feeling that even if I decided not to, Jacob will go without me. I can't place my finger on an exact reason, but something about that bothers me immensely. I'll keep you updated. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, and I will definitely keep you updated. Thank you. Stay safe.